One thing I really learned is that you can't just roll them all out at once. You know, they're 9 years old, these students, and it's just totally overwhelming if you try to roll it all out at once. Like I was saying before, a lot of them may not know exactly what schema means even now at the end of the year. Or monitor for meaning has actually been a really hard one. But let me finish that thought. You can't roll it all out at once. It's got to be explicit and kind of like baby steps, like one step at a time. Let's all ask questions, and then we'll kind of branch out from there, and we'll build on to there. Monitor for meaning, I need to talk about that one specifically because it seems so obvious. You know, if you read something that doesn't make sense, you should stop. There should be some red flags that go off in your mind, and you should do something about it. And then you have to teach them the strategies. Well, you could use context clues. You could try to chunk it out. You could look it up. You could ask a friend. But I'm surprised at how many people still, reading along, will say a word that's total nonsense and just keep on reading merrily along. Like, that one has been a really hard one. Like, exactly how, and my grade level team, my 4th grade team, will meet and we'll talk about it. Like, I say monitor for meaning, and they say it too, but they're still not really doing it. So I would love to get more resources on how to teach that strategy. So that's one that I'm excited about, the potential of exploring more. What else have I learned? I think it's really important to have them reflect and write down when they look at their iStation data or their reading scores, to look at it and then reflect and make sure that your questions directly align. Like, what's your grade level equivalence? Or what was your score in fluency? And then they can directly correlate. Okay, and how did you improve on your comprehension? And then, you know, which strategy do you want to use? And then how are you going to use that? So that you can provide as much scaffolding and support for them as possible with these pretty abstract, high-level tasks we're asking them to complete. I do think it's important to have a big visual reference like this. I actually stole this from another teacher who had a similar string-divided wall of metacognitive strategies on their classroom wall. And they didn't have all the little notes, so I kind of inferred that this is what it was supposed to end up like. I don't know, hopefully I'm doing it correctly. But I do think it's good to have a big visual reference for other teachers to try that. I think it's important to give them some support by giving these visual references. I think it's important, too, to let the kids and the students explain it as much as possible and let them be the ones to create the notes and to create the drawings because, I mean, if the teacher's just doing all the academic heavy lifting, the kids are missing out on that. Other suggestions would be to use portfolios, let the students keep their own portfolios and track their own progress and reflect on it and set goals for themselves. I think that's really important too.